like live works on YouTube. Um, so yeah, let's just see how this goes. But what I wanted to do today was like the next bit. View my channel. I just want to see if this is working, if it's live. Oh, it is live. That's good on YouTube, and that works. Cool. So now, obviously, the music's quite loud, so there's probably going to be a thing where they say like you're listening to music, you don't like that or whatever. So I'll turn it a little bit down there, which will make it quieter. Hopefully, nobody notices or anything else like that. But right, let's get into this because I've not gone live on YouTube before. So like I said, I'm working on Kingdom's Tale at the moment, and I kind of want to go to like my next step at the moment. So let me just open up the engine real quick. But I just finished working on a stone axe. So there's going to be like different varieties and different levels of stone, like tools that you can make throughout the world. But it's going to start off with stone. Then it's going to move up to what's the word that I'm looking for here? Then it's going to go up to like, you know, iron, steel, brass, copper. There's going to be so many different types. But yeah, like these dev diaries are just me creating the game or trying to work on the game. So yeah, it is what it is. Just follow along, subscribe. If you've got any ideas, suggestions, go for it. I will leave a Discord link to the server. So if I go to my Discord and I will edit the invite link so that it says never generate the link, copy it. I will put the link in the chat here, and I will also add a comment afterwards saying, you know, this is where it is. So this is my stone axe, which is basically kind of like it's going to be one of the first kind of weapons that you can make in the game. That you can use to cut down trees and stuff like that. So I have somebody working on the tree cutting system at the moment. So the next steps is to just kind of like build out the tools that we need for the game before I start working on the world. I just want to get the systems in for now. So we do have a very, very large open world continent. I apologize for coughing as well. My hay fever is starting to play up on the world. Go back to here. Okay, cool. So yeah, it's going to take a while to open. Yeah, like I said, it's just myself and another person working on it at the moment. He's helping me out with the programming side of things. I have been working on this game for so bloody long. It is unbelievable. So if I go into, this is my Confluence. Let me just sign into my Confluence. Passwords right. Okay, let's open Project Kingdom. Okay, so this is my Confluence, and there is a lot of different games. And basically, Kingdom's Tale is the same game as in Zombia, as Hunter Apocalypse, as Little Farmers, as Legion. It's just kind of changed over time. So I started working on Kingdom's Tale, oh god, it must be about 10-15 years ago, and it was just a hobby. This was before I joined the industry. I wanted to do it as a hobby. Never really got into it properly. It was just a hobby. But now it's kind of like, well, it's going to have to be my bread and butter one day. So yeah, for my first live, I'm going to explain what Kingdom's Tale is. And if you like it, follow along. I will kind of start doing more regular streams on the dev diaries and things. So it's set in a fantasy world in the 1800s. It's heavily inspired by Poldark and games like Medieval Dynasty, Forest, and thematically, I want it to look like Red Dead Online. I want it to have that kind of Saint Denis vibe. Really nice, beautiful architectural buildings that are kind of periodic to like Tudor Victorian times. So I'm still working on writing all of the documentation for this, but I've got like progression continents. So I have continents here. Myriad, this is the first continent. And you'll see here Myriad has 14 different regions. So the way that this is kind of like it works is like Sea of Thieves. So You can go on a boat and sail anywhere in the ocean, and it's infinite. When you get to certain locations, these continents or the islands will load in. And when they load in, you can go on the land. There will be a couple of smaller settlements in each of these regions. So you'll have like maybe 4 or 5 different villages or settlements or hamlets. The way that we try and do this, if I duplicate this tab for a second, so I can go back here. Oh, there we go. The way that we do this, if you go to... Oh god, I've lost my train of thought completely on what I was talking about. I know what I'm talking about now. This is going to be features. Not features, disciplines, art. I'm looking for the hamlet. I don't have the hamlet yet, so I'm going to have to add that as a feature here. So, dismiss. So this is the thing, like, as I'm going, I'm having to do all of these bits as well. But like I said to you, I want to be 100% transparent and show everybody the entire process of game development from start to finish. Right in the documentation, which is how you end up with like wiki links for what the games are. So my features here, I'm going to write, what is this one? This is, okay. So this is settlements. So this is going to be a feature that I have, settlements. Yep, that's fine. Publish it. Now, obviously, I don't want to like go into settlements and write that thing. What I want to do inside of there is create the pages. So settlements start off with a camp. And then after a camp, so you'll see the way that I'm writing this all down now. It's just very short, quick shot. What is what? This is what this is. This is what this is. And this is how it works in the industry. Is you come back to things, you start adding more information to it. So we have camp, and then once your camp gets to a large enough, it becomes what's called a hamlet. So again, like when I have put all of the different settlement types in, I will come back and I will add a little bit of description of each one of these and what they do. And then in the settlements tab there, I will add expanders. So you can expand it out and you can see what each individual one does. So we have hamlet, and then I believe it is a town. And then, no. Wait, is it a town or a village? Town or village? What is larger? I think it's a town. That's generally larger than villages. Okay, so yeah, that's fine. We can just reorganize things. So the next page is village. So the idea of Kingdom's Tale is to expand and to grow and to become bigger as well. So there we go. Move the village up so it's above there, and then the last one that we have here is a city. So these are going to be the requirements in the game to get to certain steps. So inside of these, we'll have information about what is a camp, what is a hamlet, what is a village, what is a city, and then on top of that, we will have to reach camp status, you need X amount. And then that becomes what you put into the achievement or what you put into the desired kind of like gameplay functionality. So you know when you get to X, that's when it happens. So a camp usually is settlement camp size. A camp settlement should be no larger than 20,000 people. What I'm going to do is divide that by 10 because I am not going to put 20,000 people in a camp. But what I will say is you could probably get a large camp with about, I would say, 20 people. Let's just, yeah, 20, not 20,000. So yeah, here in camp, what I can do is come into the edit. And then, so just to explain what this is, if you're curious, by the way, this is called Confluence. Confluence is a very, very, very good place to store all of your information. So when you have developers join the team, or you have publishers looking into what you're doing, and they say, hey, what about this? Have you done this? You have this Confluence here, which is like your Wikipedia. It has all of the information in it, and you can give that to publishers or to investors or to, you know, people who just really want to see what's going on. So it's a good place to store all your information. So what I'm going to do here is put an info panel, and camps will typically be between 0, well, I would say 1 to 25 people. Let's go ahead and let's just, yeah, in fact, no. Yeah, no, that's fine. So yeah, we can change all of this stuff as well. We can change how, you know, it looks, how it feels with the gray tick. I think, you know, I'm quite happy for it to be grey. I'm gonna put a divider there, not a decision, sorry, a divider, which is just gonna give me a little line between it. So when you actually look at this page as a viewer, it's got a different kind of view to it. So campsite. No, if I change that, actually, it will change there. So I'm gonna keep this camp. Camps are usually built. Why am I getting camps? Camps are usually built out of tents and other elements that are man-made, such as see, this is where I kind of like I'm struggling right now because you've got tents, but you also have like lean-tos and stuff like that. Lean-tos. Is it a lean-to? How do you lean-to? A lean-to. It's lean-to. Okay. So this is a lean-to as well, just by the way. It's a smaller kind of like thing that you would see in camps and settlements before you get bigger and expand. So let's go a lean-to. Lean-tos are just homemade tents. Tents and elements like lean-tos, hammocks, and other small furniture pieces are loose. I'll use the word loose. And then obviously it's helpful to have a couple of pictures. So what I tend to do is put my pictures into a table because it makes it easier to kind of like break them all down. So here we have tents. We have camp tents. And also periodic. We want to go to the right time period. I do have Midjourney, or I did have Midjourney a long time ago, so I am actually going to go back to Midjourney, and I'm going to use Midjourney, and I'm going to look through my previous history and type in tent, because they made me tents, so there's no point in not using them. There's just the two. Okay, now one thing that I can do here is just Windows, Shift, and S. This is kind of like, this is what I see when I see a settlement camp. Just small camps like that. Think a little bit of Red Dead Redemption as well. I'm going to make sure all of these are center. And then, yeah, let's have a look at another one. So this again, this is more like a small kind of like Victorian tent. Okay, so we have tents, then we have lean-tos. See, we've got one lean-to there, which is on Wikipedia. No, I don't want to download that. You go away. I'll take a quick picture. Okay. There's got to be other lean-tos as well that I can kind of like put in there. These are just kind of like ideas to go off for how your population is going to live, or your civilization is going to live. They're not going to be happy if they're sleeping like that, but kind of makes them want to. Was it that game, Black and White, where it's like, please help us to the king or something like that? It's kind of like what you want to see here. Apologize for the coughing. Okay, so we've got lean-tos, hammocks. Again, let's do hammocks, but we need Victorian hammocks. It's kind of been the same. So yeah, they did have hammocks in the Victorian times. So again, this is going to be like, you know, if you have trees close enough together, you can have a hammock there. There's nothing wrong with that. And you just have like a pile of clothes near the hammock or something like that to keep it kind of there. Right, okay. So let's see what else we have. We have a good hammock, Victorian. So, I mean, that's definitely what a Victorian hammock looks like. So is going to have to be what we use, to be honest with you. So I'm going to go with this one because it's a bit larger. It's AliExpress. So we've got one hammock there. So here I can put all the information about it as well. I'm not going to. I'm going to delete that, bro. Sure that there's a divider there for later on. Divider in. Loose. Loose. Okay. What I'm gonna do actually is I'm gonna make these smaller. So well small. Let's do 250. Okay, so camps are usually built out of tents and other elements made with lean-tos, hammocks, and other small pieces of loose furniture. Typically, camps are very close together in wooded areas. Yeah, it doesn't have to be in a wooded area. It doesn't have to be. Camps will usually have a close community. So now what I'm doing here by saying it usually has a close community is making sure that when my writer comes in and starts looking at how he should engage the camp like or the camp folk with each other, he'll know that there's a close community, so they need to be talking to each other. So camps will have a close community and have their own roles. That's enough for now. There we go. So we've got that done. So this is that. Now, here I can go and edit, and I'm just going to put something in there and then carry on with the modeling today. I just wanted to do a little bit for now, get a little bit of extra information on, because I thought that I had this on there and obviously not. So what I'm going to do here is an expand. And inside of the expand, I'm going to use a excerpt. Bed. Maybe it's just page. Oh, I've forgotten how to do this. I'm gonna have to Google this. How to use another page. I'll use another page. Expand. I have completely forgotten how to do this. Expand. Can't be expand. Because I'm using an expand. It really cannot be an expand. What is the word that I'm looking for here? Link. Yeah, use link. Layouts. Layouts can be helpful for the future. Not now. Got that anyway. Okay, I'm gonna save that as it is for now. I don't want to waste too much time on it. What I want to do is a stone knife. That's the main reason I'm here. We want to do a stone knife, so something like this. It's gonna be a small little bit of a stick. Do I still have on top replica? Yes, I do. So you will love this on top replica. So I've got the whole page here. Basically, I can work inside of here and still look at the browser, so I don't need to open up in another window. But I can also kind of like select a region, so I can be like, right, that's the area that I want to work in, and then boom. But I can also reset it. So right now, I just want to make sure that I'm looking at the right place. It needs to be a smaller stone knife. I like the chips and the scratches in that though. So yeah, it kind of looks like a bone. I wouldn't say it's a bone, but I mean, yeah. So I'm gonna use this. Done. So another thing is I've got like this part here, so I want to hide the border, and it's just gonna keep just this for me. So it's really good to kind of model it. So let's go ahead and let's start modeling this. So I want to start with a cylinder. Let's just do 12. 12's fine. Also, if I import, so import, I can definitely export it as an object. It's maybe it is FBX. So back to the center. Import FBX. There we go. Awesome. So that's good enough for me to see kind of like how it needs to be. So if we look here as well, I think it's actually in John Luke's dev room where he's got it set up so you can actually just go and pick it up. So I here for a second. Okay, right. So pick it up. I've got my stone axe here. So yeah, so that's in my hand there. So yeah, it's gonna be yeah, very very small. I would say yeah. Okay. So you can go away now. Don't need you. But I've got my stone axe here, so that's gonna be like handle area, and then I'm gonna want this to look a little bit more realistic as well. Like I want it to have all of the right indents, the right places. Okay, so obviously here there's gonna be the knife. So if I block that part out as well. It's got to have a little bit of sharpness to it. So that will kind of like come with slope. So and yeah, I mean, it's like that's kind of like the shape. I just press O, so I can kind of like get that shape at the top. I want the rope to be wrapped around here as well, so let's go ahead and bring that a little bit further down again. So it looks like it's kind of like here it cuts away. There. And then, yeah, let's go ahead and let's give this a subdivision. Smooth it out. Okay. So that's kind of like that's the shape that we want to go for. Yeah. Now obviously you cut this part away as well. Let's go ahead and cut that just there. And this is going to be a little bit harder, not cut, just because of the topology. So when we start to actually bite it and smooth it, got to keep that look there. Again, with the bottom as well, you're always going to get this pinching because, like, if you think of subdivisions as a turbo smooth or a NURBS, like the vertices are basically pulling the edges to each other. So the more vertices you have, the less chance you have of those being pulled. Except you can see pinching now, and the pinching is because we're using triangles. So we need to make sure that we only use quads for this. So push these to the edge, remove the additional vertices, and it's a little bit better now. But again, what we could also give it kind of like this. That. Just take that edge out because it's there. It's there. I can smooth that out anyway. Could do this, but tighter. It's not an issue. We're bringing this into Substance. Sorry, ZBrush. Okay, so now when I'm merging all these together, you're going to see a lot of pinching and a lot of ugliness. There's a really easy way of kind of avoiding this. So I'm going to go ahead and do this. But that is, again, basically going back to how I was explaining that you have the subdivisions here and how everything kind of works together. So what we want to do is go into face select mode and select these faces, like all of the inside faces basically, and we're going to inset them. Okay, so let me just save my rotation scale so it insets properly. Now the moment I press I and go for the inset, you're going to see I get a smoother transition. So I get a smoother transition here for the inset. It's not going to be as pinchy. You're still going to see pinching, but again, like, control the topology and you're not going to have as much pinching going on. So yeah, it's just all about controlling topology and making sure things look good. And again, like, this is going to be annoying, but I'm going to have to like kind of like grab these and bring them in. Because it's supposed to like hug the tool, the stone, so I'm going to need to make sure that it hugs it here. Okay, down. You can see now that it's starting to kind of like have an uglier look. Not uglier per se, but it's starting to push ugly ways. Okay, let's bring the top up slightly. Could technically go bigger too. I'll stay there for now though. But yeah, kind of. It's out. So okay, so the next thing I need to do is the rope. You can see there, kind of like the rope that wraps around it. So I will do a path. So let's make sure that I can see the face orientation. Okay, so it's that one. So bring it up there. Now, obviously, I need to scale this down. The way the path works is what I want the path to do is to go around up. So now you can see I have 5 control points. So each of these control points is going to give a little more freedom. Now, when I'm moving this around, I'm pressing G and then Shift and Z allows me to move specifically on the Z axis only. Sorry, everything but the Z axis, which means that I can kind of put a little bit more around this area. So let me go in here, geometry, and we want to just change the depth. So what this depth is going to do is give me a rope. So I can now use this rope as kind of like what we see here. So this is kind of what I want to do is have this rope going around. So it's a thicker rope. I mean, mine is probably definitely thicker, but I'm not gonna do that. Level start and resolution segments. Yeah, that's fine. It's low resolution, which is what we want to go for here. Yeah, like I said, so when you're happy, press E and extrude. Obviously here I need to go up slightly, then I can come back here, kind of like get it to go around, and then again. I should be able to have like 4 vertices per. No. Should be like one there, one there, one there, there. Yeah. That's kind of what we want to do here. Is just close. But then I can do the same thing here, you see. So now I can go, okay, well, this one needs to go there, that one needs to go there. Dissolve that one can go here. And let's just bring this over. Now. So yeah, let's do this again now. Yeah, just this is a quick and easy way to just add the rope. So kind of like got this rope up, okay, but we also need to like have it down here. So I'm gonna subdivide this just so I can bring this down. You've got the rope hanging there. Obviously, the first one, what we're gonna do now is, we've got to break this section up because I think it makes sense to have the rope tucked in on the inside. So I bring this up like that. Again, we just want to make sure that this is close to the geometry. We don't want it to be too far away. Now, this one is going to go underneath. Okay. Does get kind of messy. The more curves that you have as well, they all kind of, it looks like they all overlay each other. I know they don't, but it just doesn't look Okay, that's that one done. Just double check here. Yeah, there we go. So now we just need to make this tighter. Yep. Go. Nice. Okay, so that one goes a bit. Alright, I guess I'll be back in a minute. I have to go and pick someone up with the rain. Sorry about that. I am back. Hopefully, I don't have to do any more running about. Okay. Oh, yeah. I need to change the screen, don't I? That would help. Tighter. I reckon 2 more times, and then so what I want to do here as well is also add some your circles like this, and same thing, just I suppose I could try and like, hide that and yeah, just have this go up like that. Shoot across this way. I think also having that close is what I want this to be tight, kind of like hugging it a bit. Does it go round? It's going to be kind of closer together. Yeah, go down, maybe, and then back around. So go and forward like that. Shoot, bless me. Okay. Right. So that needs to go in tighter. It's way too loose right now. That's also loose, which means that this is probably too there. Yeah. So I think that should go around. like go around it. Get tight. I think what I'm gonna do here is go under, back over again around the other side. Right way. Got one loop going over, and we need a loop going under as well. So. That would work. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Now the problem here, though, right, is when you have rope like that and it gets tighter and closer together, it does kind of like push. But obviously here, our topology, geometry even, is kind of like very sharp. We need another loop there to pull it back in again. I mean, realistically, like around here, that back around, so that kind of like goes there. Go ahead and subdivide that. Subdivide.
She pulled out a backpack with some drugs I never done before, but I still told her past that. I only said it cause I'm trying to get lucky like a four-leaf clover. For disclosure, I'm a lot less cool.
We can use the pinch tool as well in ZBrush to kind of like finalize some of this. Yeah, so the last one I'm gonna get to go around. It's just to make it look a little more natural, do you know what I mean? Sorry. I don't think it does look more natural, but once it's textured, it'll look fine. Doesn't need to look special, because it's going to be destroyed anyway. Okay. Go. That will do. Okay, so we've got the stone high, stick high. The rest of these three we need to convert to mesh. That's mesh. That's mesh. Okay, cool. So all be one. Let's call this. Rope. High. Okay, so we have these three. Rotation scale. Let's change the origin. 3D. Cursor or to world. No, origin to world. Origin to 3D cursor to world. Okay, so if we export this now, export as an object. So go to tools. This one is a knife. Stone knife. High. Okay, so that's the stone knife there. Let's just open on ZBrush. Okay, so I don't need that. Double and import. So that's in the source files, isn't it? So no. I swear I exported that. Export as OBJ. Yes, I exported as OBJ. Wow. Okay. There we go. There we go. Okay. Right. What are we gonna do with you? How are we gonna make you look sexy? So let's just split it to similar parts. Let's just move them up. So page up. Control that up. Right, so actually, first of all, what I want to do is, if I look at the wireframe, I'm going to want to sort that out. So yeah, let's Dynamesh this. Notice as well, the moment I Dynamesh this, like, you start getting these rigid edges. It's gonna be really cool to kind of like break this up a bit. So first of all, let's smooth it out. Let's just go ahead and make everything again. So I'm gonna use the trims. Was it? It's the smooth one that I was using, wasn't it? And it worked really, really well. Trim smooth border. I don't have Damien standard anymore for some reason. Let's go ahead. Let's give it an alpha, like square. Now, I know these have got like a specific kind of indent to them, but I'm just gonna like break the rock up. I mean, I could potentially like do this, and then I would have to. Okay, so open up Photoshop. So I want a specific way. If I do this, it's gonna break it in. But I think I need like more circular kind of like structure going on here. So right now it's going the wrong way. It's going down, and I want it to go across. So to do that, I need to open up Photoshop and do a quick like 512. I just want to make a new brush icon. So grayscale, create that, and let's go ahead and make sure that's black. And then let's create this. So it should be white. Okay. So that is going to give us what we need, hopefully. So if I switch that over to a game dev, let's go to textures, alphas, alpha, brush. Let's stretch that. Okay, so save that. Now, if I bring this alpha into here, import it in, so game, textures, alphas, the alpha circle. Not even in the texture, okay. So, I think that is because I'm using grayscale, so let's like change that to RGB, save it again. Replace it. Let's just change the name to stretch to or something. So, okay. Let's bring it back in. Circle 2. It's not coming in. Why are you not coming in? Let me import the texture. Ah! Is it because it's not a bitmap? Could be. Let me save it as a bitmap. Stretched. Stretch circle. It could be because I'm not saving it as a bitmap. It's been so while. Yeah, so stretched. So now if I do this, you'll see you start to get more of this circular look to the knife. I got bigger. Let's just make it so that's visible. Go back to the square for a minute because I'm getting some very sharp damage from this. What I want to do is like break it up first and then start doing some sharp damage. Also want to make sure that I can keep that crisp like damage going as well. Okay. So let's see. Larger. It cuts. I just use the inflate. Yeah, because it's just got too flat. So use a little bit of inflate. Switch back to the trim again. Mix you up. Okay, so now I want to put that damage in. Like, these like what I could do is if I go to a standard and then I do a drag direct and bring in the alpha meter, it's gonna be it does need to be blurred out a bit though. So I could do like a secondary alpha, blur this one out slightly. Yeah. So obviously this one is going to give you a better result than the sharper one. So again, bitmap, shred circle, blurry or blurred. So let's import the blurred version. Okay, so we need the sub and yeah, that kind of works nicely. So obviously, like once you finish the blurriness, like just sharpen it out a bit. What I'm gonna do in a second. Just too big. There we go. You see the other side's getting pushed through as well, so it's gonna look okay. Again, this is just kind of like how they damage him. So they hit it over and over again with the stone to kind of give that shape. So us doing this and then sharpen it up is going to kind of like reinforce that look. Anyway. Okay. So like yeah. What we do then is just kind of like damage it up here. And then we come in with another trim, and this time we just kind of like sharpen up these areas. If I switch over to like the trim smooth border again, zoom in, make sure that I have the poly count for it though. Yeah, you'll see. That's how we do the damage there. Yeah, just keep doing it. Make sure the edge is nice and sharp like this as well. It's just going to help sell the look. Those bits there as well, so like additional damage there. I do need to bring like my Wacom and just start using the Wacom to sculpt though. It's been so long since I've actually sculpted though, so it's been a very long time. Yeah, a little bit of damage in there as well on the edge. Bring that a bit. nice. You kind of got like this going straight down as the line, jaggedness. Yeah, once this is textured though, it'll really start the part. So I just want to see what it looks like in like a different light, just to make sure that it's getting that damage there. I don't want it to look too shit. It's too sharp as well. Some of these edges, if I switch it over to the circle, it'll chip it off a bit more. Go. Undo. You. Back. Yeah, it's getting there. It's got that look. Like I said as well, this is my first time kind of streaming on YouTube. I will be doing this more often now. I don't really know what's going on with my job at the moment, to be honest with you. So the whole time I'm kind of like suspended working on my own game. I'm just gonna carry on working on my own game. As good as I can make it, really. Who needs a big game studio, eh? It's the indie devs that's gonna take over the world. We're just gonna start releasing loads of games and show bigger studios that they're shit, and we could do better. That's there. Break that up there. Nice. Quite nervous about these small little indents here. Like it looks, you know, like it's been chipped. It just looks fucking random. Just break it up a bit more. Let's see what it looks like with the rest of it back on. It's kind of like it sits there nicely. Obviously the rope's not going to help there, but yeah, it seems alright. Like I said, once it's textured as well, it'll look completely different. So gotta make sure that it matches. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with this bit being sharp here. I quite like it. But obviously, topology, geometry there. I'm just going to stop before I destroy it. Let's go. Smooth it out. Wait. Alright, so we've got to do the back side. Shouldn't take too long. Like I said, once this is textured, still like the highlights will really come out. Yeah. I'm not going to go for the same color. I'm probably going to make the color a little bit different and just kind of put there. Do a quick pass over just so I can get a lot of the blurriness gone, some of the sharpness back in. Also applied to start streaming on TikTok too, so if all goes well, I will start streaming on TikTok as well as YouTube and Twitch. It's going to be hard to kind of keep track of everything, where everybody's watching from. But yeah, once I actually start making a little bit of it income, I will pay. Sorry, I'll pay for the Confluence, so everybody, like public, has access to it. So they can kind of look at the project and give their own feedback, thoughts, ideas, that kind of thing. Then obviously we've got the Discord server as well. So you can join the Discord server. Hey, dude. Thanks. First time streaming. YouTube, so yeah. Good to have the support. Cheers, dude. Sharp there. I don't mind the sharpness, but it's very, like, you're going to get a lot of artifacts in that area if you don't do it right. So I'm trying to do here is break up the sharpness. Less likely to get the artifacting. That's the other thing as well, because I'm sculpting this, like, it's not going to look the same on the other side, so it's good to have that variety and it's not just going to be flat. Okay. So there's the knife part. Let's just get on with the handle now. So again, let's have a look at the handle and look at the topology. So remember what I said when I started modeling this, it's the topology down here that's giving me the issue with the pinching. I think if we look at doing a Dynamesh again, yeah, we don't need this to be, like, it doesn't need to be spot on. The idea is to kind of break it up a bit. Add some kind of breaks and cracks to it. There we go. Yeah, we want to kind of like smooth out again here anyway, so let's go. Yeah, kind of don't mind that actually. Yeah, see, that's what's gonna make it look more realistic, like a rock, like a stick. It's kind of like broken down. So you're probably going to want to like do a little bit of damage on the top too. Have that done. And let's go down to like, yeah. So there's a bit of pinching going on there, so it's not too much of an issue. We can fix the pinch and smooth it out, trim it a little. this is obviously going to be wood, so we don't want to do too much, but we want to have a bit of wood damage. I think this is a good area as well to kind of like, if you bait the curvature and the ambient occlusion with this little bit of damage here, you can use this damage as kind of scuff marks. So when you have like the rest of the handle kind of like a darker brown, you can use these scuff marked areas that I'm doing right now and give it like a lighter saturated color. It's gonna be nice. Okay, so that is fine. Then obviously we've got this. So let me just merge down, and then okay, yeah. So I also need to dynamesh this just to close these holes, or I can actually go to should be close holes. There we go. Again, like I said, there's going to be areas here where like it's gonna be stretched. Where's the pinch? If I use pinch, I'll leave it like that. So when I bake, it's okay. Okay. Let's just make sure they're named right. Stone, knife. This time they're all low. Oh wait, no, they are high. Let's just put that over there for a minute. So go to game dev. Assets, tools. This is the knife. So stone, knife, eye. Stone, eye. This is the stone, obviously. And then we'll do stone knife. Handle, eye. Yes, that knife handle high. Stone, knife, handle, eye. And the rope. Stone, knife, rope, high. I think also it's worth looking at this and then, well, dynamesh this. Well, yeah, dynamesh the decimation stuff. So what we get 4K, and we could probably get about 1K, even less than that to be honest. So let's go back here. I want to get. And obviously the poly count for that is going to be this, which is again, it's not an issue. We don't need it to be completely flat. It's nice to have a little bit of like undulation. So this is stone, knife, stone. Make sure we put that back to high because I haven't actually saved the tool yet, so I need to save the tool. Okay. Then next we have the handle. So again, pre-process, and we don't need that much topology. That's fine. So we'll export that as the stone knife. Handle low. Handle low. And then obviously we have the stone ropes. Stone ropes. We've done high, haven't we? Yeah, we do. We don't need the low for that. So I'm going to minimize that for now, and I'm going to go back into Blender. And I'm actually just going to check a bunch of things out. So this is the source. So this was the original that I made. Bring in Photoshop to ZBrush. Then I'm going to bring in the high, and then I'm going to bring in the low. Let's hide that for now. Let's go ahead and let's import J and knife. So we've got rope and stone, and then the handle. Now I think I'm bringing in the high first. So if I am, it's going to take a couple of minutes to come in. But once that's in, we can start working on UV unwrapping it. Okay, so that's the stone high. So then we have rope high. Rope high is not too bad. And then the last one is the handle high. This is going to be helpful when we go into ZBrush to texture, because we'll be able to see the cage. Sorry, my mind went blank for a second. Okay, so they're both high, we'll put them there. And again, let's hide them and let's bring in the low. So stone low, then the handle low. We don't need to worry about the rope, because the rope we can take from the source. Okay, so yeah, that's there.
Fall back overboard and float down to your heart. All that silence, there is your soul. Light a firework and stand back till it sparks. Watch yourself in the sky explode. Watch yourself in the sky explode.
It's going to be a lot of things that I need to fix here.
Runs thin and you think you need help. That's when you know you're home. And when the hardest part is sitting still with yourself, that's when you're not alone.
Next time I'm going to model the rope as rope though, and not just like wire.
All that you need
It's going to give me a little bit more control over the ambient occlusion and the other bits that I need to do.
is what you can't see, but you've always had it.
Oh yeah, I didn't realize I've got to follow it all the way up because it's wrapped around. That's cool.
If you want
knife in it would be cool because you can use that for skin animals as well. So, cool.
Cause all that you need is what you can't see, but you've always had it. Cause all that you need
This is probably the highest kind of count of polys as well as throat. I wonder if I can like use every other here instead. I'm gonna just do every other for now, but I wonder if I can use like every two. Just like cut away. Another two, cut away, another two, cut away, and see how that looks. I think yeah, for now I'll just do every other, kind of follow the flow of the edges. This is also a good way to work on LODs, is just cut every additional edge leaf away, just so you can reduce the poly counts. Each of these are cut away, I think I end up with an additional kind of like 5 triangles less. It's good to actually see, so you'll see in a second. I had that, so I'm just focusing on the low. The low in total is still like, I mean, if you look at like a next gen game, having this is already kind of like fine. It's 9,000 triangles. There's no reason to kind of bring it down. And you also have to remember this is first and third person, so we need to kind of have detail for both angles of the knife. But I mean, like I said, additional. This is gonna halve it, so if you look eventually, it should halve the amount. I suppose we need to like make this on its own to see what the poly count is. Okay. Yeah, I do believe like every other like this is okay. Back to every other. It's okay. I lost where I was. I'm back. That can do. Yeah, so yeah, 5,000 triangles. So now we just got to do this. So Alt and J, let's get rid of some additional edges. Now, luckily, triplanar texturing is a thing, so we don't need to worry too much about the fact that it may have seams. So, you know, we can go straight through and have a seam. Now, that doesn't mean that I'm saying go and go and UV unwrap your asset like shit. But in this certain situation, it's not too much of an issue to UV unwrap it in this way. Okay, so I'm gonna try and keep it to an edge flow at least. Obviously, we want to keep the edge flow going to the other side. Right, so I'll mark the seam there. That should give me 3 separate sides when I unwrap. I'll pull that over. So let's unwrap. It's also helpful as well to just put a UV grid on, just to see kind of like how it looks. So, any stretch, and obviously there's going to be seams there. The seam is fine. We know the seam's going to be there. We're going to try playing a project to texture this. So I'm going to make it smooth. Now I have this issue here. This is just simply because of the fact that there's these edges are closer together. So I could do 2 things. I could bring it that way, which is going to get rid of it, which is fine. Same here. What I'm going to do is like merge some of these together, just to kind of like. I know it's ugly, but like I said, we'll just do a quick unwrap. The rope is a different matter. We can add a seam and unwrap like so. Okay, so that should be this. Let's just go ahead. Nope. Okay, let's undo that before we unwrapped it. And same here, I'm going to do 2 seams. And then I'm trying to find the best place. It's going to be there, potentially there to unwrap them. I think it is worth as well, kind of like breaking this up because it's so big. Just to break the rope up a bit. Otherwise, it's too big. Again, it's not an issue if it's too big, but like we don't want to have like really bad, ugly seams. Even with a triplanar, you're still gonna get some kind of a seam, and because it's gonna be a rope, it's gonna have lots of very jagged areas. Sorry, it's because I'm texting. UV in this rock is gonna have a lot of like displaced areas where the rope kind of travels. So okay, so nearly done. Never get out the texture in it. I still have to do the icons for both this and axe. So give me a good chance to do it. Nice. Okay, so that should break it in half. And that should give me an okay texture. Okay, that can go there like that, and then the rope is going to take up the rest of it. Let's have a look at this. Okay, so should be okay. Okay, so let's rename that to Stone Knife. Just make sure that these are all low. So Stone Knife. Make sure that's smooth, and okay, let's do this. So we need to export as an OBJ, selection only, and this is going to be Stone Knife Low. Capital L, because I'm going to change them. Selection only, so that way it only exports my low. That'll take a couple of seconds. Once that's done, I can actually open that up in Painter while I wait for the high poly to export. So let's go ahead and let's find the high poly. Also, let's make sure everything is smooth. We don't want any kind of like faces to be baked in. And let's export this as well. So we export again OBJ, make sure they're all high. Same name, selection only, and this time we're going to export high. Okay, in Painter, let's go ahead and let's open the low poly. So knife, and we want stone knife, stone knife low. Okay, let's just go for 4K for now. I have been working in 2K just to get the updates done, but to save it in 4K. So what I'm going to do here is I am going to bake. So hopefully by now, it's not exported yet. So I was going to bake high poly onto it, but it's still working. So I suppose now's a good time to talk about high poly. If you're watching the live still, thank you. But also, like, if you're trying to learn how to do 3D modeling or anything like that, one thing that's going to be a bit of a shock and you're not going to understand is high poly baking onto low poly. So basically what we do is, like, we take a low poly version, which has less topology, less triangles, less faces, less edges. So you can see right now, this high poly knife is actually 4 million triangles. Our low poly is around about 12,000 triangles. We'll see in a minute when this is finished. Okay, so over here, 8,000, so it's even better. It's 8,000 triangles our low. So I'm also going to save this. So knife, stone knife. Save that there. So, like I said, our low poly's got 8,000 triangles. Our high poly has 4 million triangles. You can see the difference between the two. So when I choose the high poly, what this is going to do is this is going to import my high poly mesh invisibly, and it is going to wrap it around this object, the object here, which is my low poly, and it's going to see if it can bake. Now, the blue just gives you a good idea of what is and isn't going to bake. So we want to also control our frontal distance, because anything red is not going to bake. We're going to get baking errors, but anything blue, it's fine. We also don't want to like push out our frontal distance like that, because we're going to get everything baked everywhere. We don't want that. So we want to go to where there's no red, and just make sure that everything can bake locally. We're also going to make sure to match the mesh name, and we're going to change this to a low and a high, but this time with capitals, because I did the capitals there. And this is a common setting. So what we also need to do is go into the ambient occlusion. I'm going to have my ambient occlusion bake on everything, because I'm not going to be removing the rope at all. So all of the ambient occlusion underneath is going to look nice for me. So I'm going to keep that self-occlusion on. Same with the curvature, the thickness. It's literally just the normal. And the reason why I do that is because otherwise what will happen is this rope here will be projected onto the handle, and then you will have the rope being projected onto this normal. And we don't want that. We want the normals to be projected onto each other, which is why we brought it in separately in the first place. So I'm going to go ahead and bake the selectors, and now you'll see what it's doing is it's putting that normal information on from our high poly, so you can see the undulation, perforation, the damage on the stone itself. Obviously, I've switched out to do 2K here, but it is actually baking in 4K. Now you can see the ambient occlusion being rendered onto it. It bakes it onto it and makes the maps for you. There shouldn't really be too many artifacts. Like I said, the reason why I've kept the ambient occlusion not on self is because none of this ambient occlusion would be here if we had it matched on the mesh. Obviously, we do have some issues here on the rope, I can see. This is where the seams are, so depending when it bakes, how it looks. The curvature is not too much of an issue again right now. It's just more like keeping an eye on these seams here. So, and also another good thing about Painter as well is if you're using Unreal Engine, then there's a high possibility that you can actually you can use Quixel. So Bridge. Obviously, Quixel Megascans is a free pack when you're using Unreal Engine. So if you sign in to your Epic Games account, you can download anything for free. Now, obviously, I'm making this knife and substance, but I'm bringing it into Unreal Engine, so I should be able to use textures from Quixel because I'm using it inside of Unreal Engine still. Right, so once this is finished baking, I can go to return painting. And now you'll see now, this low poly has all of the details baked onto it, okay? This is what we want. First thing that I want to do, though, is there's a couple of things that I want to do here. So I want to have just basic wood textures for now. I think I actually brought them in. There they are. So I actually brought in, that's the stone. So I'll bring the stone there for now. So if I go to stone knife, I'm going to create this. And this one, I'm going to call it stone. Stone. Alright, stone. And let's put the base color in. And you can see now. Turn the metallic off because we're not using metal at all, so there's no point turning it on. Displacement is height. We have ambient occlusion as well, which we don't have turned on, but that's not a problem. We can go up to the texture settings here, go to channels. We're not using any metal for this, so I'm not going to have a metallic channel, but I am going to turn on my ambient occlusion channel. And if I go back to layers now, you'll see that I have AO, so I can go ahead and drag my AO here. It's going to give it a little bit of darker. So right now, for the stone, it's nice to have it set up like that. What I'm going to do is mask it off, though. In fact, I'm going to make that white, and I'm going to create a folder, and I'm going to call this stone. This is very important, because I want to save this as a smart material to use again. So with my stone saved, what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep that. In fact, I'm going to give it a black mask, and I'm going to choose this face, this object, and that's going to just make sure that only this is showable. So again, this is the stone base. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate this, and this is going to be the stone edging. Now, for the edging, we don't need the height, and we don't need the north. That's just going to duplicate and give us more mess, okay? But what we do want to do is we want to right-click, and we want to add a filter. And the filter that I'm going to add for this specifically is the HSL filter. So, hue, saturation, and lightness. And I am going to turn my lightness up, which is going to give me this look, as well as my saturation down, and lightness a bit more. Now, that was on my material. If I right click and create a black mask, you'll notice that it disappears. But I'm going to add a generator, and in my generator, I'm going to use this to probably do the edge wear. You can see now I'm starting to get this edge damage coming in. So the first thing we need to do is make sure we're using triplanar. And that goes back to the stone here, by the way, as well. Let's turn triplanar projection on. And fine. So yeah, edge wear, we want to turn the wear level up slightly. And let's see here. I think also add in a HSL to this, and let's make it lighter as well. In fact, I think darker looks better. Is that what I did by accident? But darker looks better here. I'll do darker. I'm also going to do a bit of dirt. So again, move the mask. This is going to be the top layer. Also turn the AO off. We don't need the AO on for this, by the way. So AO off. UV projection seems to be looking better here, okay, so. Yeah. Anyway, dirt. So we want to make sure the HSL here gives us a dirty color. Now that's not going to work, so instead what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a filter. No, not a filter, sorry. I'm going to add a fill. And I'm going to make sure it's just the color, and I'm going to set this to tint. And then we're going to give this like a brownie color. We could use color and control it there, which is fine too. Create black mask. This time we're going to do dirt. Build up the dirt area. With that, we'll go like so. And again, it's going to be darker than that, so it's going to be a very dark. Maybe I could get like a HSL after. Yeah, and darken it down. There we go. Now obviously the edge and turn the wear down slightly. Okay, there's the stone. Also we want to do some rope. So I do my rope a little differently. I do it a weird way. So basically, let me go and create a mask for it. So there. So just want the height and the AO. And for this, I'm going to use a gradient. Rotate it 45 degrees. And then 25. Yeah, 66. Just go higher and higher. Just that one. Make sure the ambient occlusion is using the gradient too. I'm also going to do a levels filter and just make sure that height isn't too high. Also add a blur, so filters, and then a blur here. It's going to help make the rope look a little bit more ropey. And then another level for the ambient occlusion. Okay, that. Obviously, we've got this normal issue here, but we can fix that. Like once we finish adding the textures, we can fix this. Potentially add a color here and a gradient to the color. Color, and that's going to be the color of the rope. And add another filter, HSL. We also need the roughness to be sorted out here because the roughness is way too much. So let's just do roughness and add like a grunge. Okay, the fill for the roughness here. One more levels for the roughness. So again, one more thing I'm going to do here is put the AO on top of the ambient occlusion, because I want my ambient occlusion to be part of the actual base color. So if I go all the way up to the top, put the ambient occlusion on, and then I'm going to multiply it, you can see now it adds a little bit more to flavor to the scene. And then the last thing that I need to do is the handle, so wood. Now again, I remember bringing the wood textures in, so they should be in this one's it. That should be the ambient occlusion. Displacement. Normal. Displacement. Again, like I want to have this kind of a look to it, so I don't want it to be good. I don't want it to be too good. So what I will do is give this a filter, add in HSL, make sure that the wood is darker. Like I said, one thing that I wanted to do was to have like a darker wood, but then have like lighter grain. So if I get that black mask, add a generator, I should be able to put edge wear on, and yep, those areas that I damaged, you will get that grain in. So it can work one or two ways. This is going to be like scuffs. And yeah, the scuffs will be kind of like in the areas where I had to painted that. I definitely think then, okay, let's bring this up. Let's probably make this brighter. Okay, so next thing we want to do is have like a variation of this. So if I go and give this more saturation, a darker look, give this a black mask, and then in the black mask, I'm going to give it a fill. But my fill, I'm going to use like a grunge map. Something that's got a nice bit, like powder soft, there we go. So something that's got a nice bit of variation. You can see now, I've got this in the wood there. So if I turn the balance up, you'll see it a little bit more. But I'm just going to do this like a couple more times to overlay. So again, like there, the HSL this time I'm going to bring down. It's kind of like this color, maybe. Yeah, a bit darker than that. And let's go for this look instead. Now you see the wood is like overlaying. It's layering on each other. It gives you this nice look. Now, obviously, we're missing a bit of the grain, but it's not too much of an issue as it is right now. I suppose as well, the stone does look better when it's lighter. So the rope more than anything is where it's being let down at the moment. That mask is. Save that. Stone knife. Definitely think the wood needs to be a bit darker. Robe now is the thing that I need to kind of like fix the texture of. So I need to fix the UVs. So I need to just save that, and then I need to go back in here and look at my low poly and just see why the UVs are so bad. That's the answer already. It's because the seam is on the outside, not the inside. So I can fix that obviously by doing this. I still think that it's worth breaking up this a bit more.
I think this garden speaks. Or am I high right now? I think
Sorry.
caved in. I think your heart's possessed. I see white flags waving. Or am I just obsessed? Or am I paranoid?
Okay, so that goes to there. That goes to there. That goes all the way up there. Okay, so that's probably getting to there. Oh, fine. That's fine. So this one here. Ah, okay, I see. So now, obviously, we have that. What I would do is select these two, make sure they're deselected, select this afterwards. Then what I can do here is I can actually fix this. Um, I can bring that over there. Okay, now that should work better. Okay, so I should be able to just export this out as the stone low. And now if I re-import here, we should have a different UV. Yep, which is going to screw that up. But everything else should stay the same. Which means that once I rebake, it should fix itself. So let's go ahead and let's see if that works.
At the 50-yard line, I saw her feet. She was under the bleachers waiting for me. No, I never get high, but I'm smoking her weed. She been
Come
giving this
on.
freshman love since last June. The only senior girl with tattoos. Said nobody can find out things that we do. She said, put your hands behind your head. Let me blow your mind, kid. But don't get too excited. You can call me
Okay.
Stacy. You can call me love. You can call me
Done?
baby.
No, it's not.
Dollar D. You
Okay, so there's a seam there,
can call me
but
late
that
night.
might be the only
And
seam.
I'll be at your door.
Yeah, the seams are a
You
lot less
can
visible,
call me anything
which is
or
nice.
anything you want. Just don't call me yours. It's 3:05 on a Friday, bell rings. Her parents left last night for Palm Springs. He's got the whole house empty for me. My brother, he needed the car, so I ran down 71st as fast as I can. I'm telling her everything I had planned. She said, I know we've been getting close. We can't get no closer. You'll get it when you're older.
Okay,
You can
now
call
we're
me
done.
Stacy. You can call me love.
Here we go.
You can call me
Rope looks a little
baby.
better.
Dollar
We'll go back to
D,
Marmoset and look at the rope package there.
call me late night. And I'll be at
So, like I said, like with the rope,
call me anything or
do like a
anything
22.
you want.
Just get it really,
Don't
really small.
call me yours.
I think I'm probably gonna have to make a rope texture though, because like this is nice, but it would be good to base. Let's add a second color. Make sure that it's just the color, and black mask. So we should be able to use a dirt layer just to get a little bit of that dirt on the rope. Nice. Then we're going to want to keep the roughness on for that actually. Make sure that it's very not rough. It's also going to be darker if it's dirt. Rope base here with the HSL. Let's turn rope color up a bit. Let me just put down the Discord. What I should have done is make the rope kind of like sit there, but it's fine. Okay, so we've got the dirt. There's an additional thing I want to do here. The levels of the AO. Nope. Okay. Yeah, got there. I don't think there's anything wrong with like having like the grunge. Okay. And the only thing that looks after me is the stone. Like, it's still. I don't know what's better, dark or light. I don't know if it looks better dark or light. I mean, if you look at the axe is light, but I think that this looks better dark. But to keep into like pattern, it's gonna have to be light. But then that means that I should really have the edging be darker. Kind of works. It should be the other way around. It should be dark, and then the stone edging should be lighter. I'm gonna save it, export, and just bring it in for now. Textures. Let's go ahead. Look at the accent. I need to go into my dev room. Okay, so packs in the Dino Mega inventory system. Interactables, rocket on the ground. I remember how to do it rightly, and then just basically. That's it. Item. Bring that there, and then to rotate. So I need to go to my variables, my data tables, items. You put that in equipment. Stone axe is in equipment. Okay. Ah, okay. That's the problem that we've got right there, isn't it? Skeletal mesh. Add another stone knife. So obviously, I want to make the icon. So for the stone axe, it is there. So if I go to File, Import, and I bring in my stone knife. Stone knife below. Should be a similar size because I definitely scaled it to the right size. Was really small. Not why. Textures. Let's go ahead and export them. Surface, normal. Let's just put the normal on there. The axe. Let's go and change this to roughness. Give it the roughness mask. Advanced metalness. Make sure it's not metal. Okay. How big is this other image? 2048. let me just come out of there, close everything, don't save anything, delete my local changes. Let's unstage them, start changes. Move over to mine. Okay. Cool. Let's make sure it's up to date and then relaunch. And also, let's just make sure that that's the right way. Yeah, that's cool. It's the exact right angle. So, what I need to do is scale this down to 512 by 512, which actually gives me a lot of resolution. So that's probably what I should do here. And I'm gonna save that as icon. So PNG icons. Icons. Stone Ico Stone Axe. Now I need to open up this. Let's just switch that. Make sure that's 512. Oh, fuck me. It looks like it saved that. Okay. Mine's on the latest, I think. Perfect. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's bring out the interactables, items. The first item and second item. The first item is Stone Axe. I think the range needs to be smaller for this. Okay, so that's got one stone axe there, so I'm going to duplicate that. But first of all, I need to go into the inputs. No, I need to go to the recipe table. No, I need to go to interactables, containers. Why have I got lost? Variables, data tables, equipped. Thank you. stone knife. So this is going to be main hand. Okay. We're going to assets, tools, then we've got the axe there, so now I'm going to bring in the knife. So for that one, I'm going to export as a whole. Stone knife. Need to export this right. So it needs to be exported as FBX. Selected objects only. Need to make sure that the smoothing is set to face. Then I export as SM stone knife. Now that should work. So I've got the other one set to SM stone axe. Perfect. So leave that there. Go to here. Now this should import and not give me any errors. Perfect. Okay. So obviously I've already made a material that I can do, so I'm going to duplicate that, and this is going to be stone, stone, A. Okay, so let's put it in. So I've packed the textures. Basically what that means is my ambient occlusion, my roughness and metallic is packed into a single map, which is going to save me draw calls. So we have no metallic, so we can keep that black. But one thing that I will do is there are two ambient occlusions here. So I'm going to take the mixed AO, I'm going to put it on top of the other AO, and then I'm going to multiply them. Merge that together. Again, make sure that base color will work. So I'm going to put the AO there, make it fully white, and then in the channels, ambient occlusion, and then the roughness is going to go into the green channel. Metallic is going to go into that channel. So then there's our ARM. Save that as a TGA or a PNG. Stone knife ARM. We don't have anything packed, so we can do PNG. PNG is going to keep a good amount of information as well. So then all I need to do is just rename the other two to T stone knife albedo and then T stone knife normal. Let's bring those in. So there's that. There's that. There is that. So if we look at the stone knife now, it should be textured properly. If it's not textured properly or the normals look weird, it's simply because the normal is inverted. So all you have to do is come up to your normal in the advanced settings here and then flip the channel to green. And that should fix the issue. Perfect. Done. So one more thing that I need to do, obviously, is the knife and the axe should both have icons, and they don't at the moment. So I'm going to go to my textures folder. And then I'm going to go to my icons, resources. No, it's icons tools. So tools. and then I'm gonna import the icons that I've already created, so they're in G. Icons, and then I have the two tools there. So I think so pressure and settings is the base. Same for this one here. The pressure settings will be the interface. So both the icons are there. I need to figure out something. So trying to figure out where the icon is for these items. If I go into Space Helmet, so this one should be Space Helmet. Now, it could be the item here. There's a Space Helmet. Yeah. Which is equipment. Okay. So, Stone Axe. There we go. So the equipment's there. So the icon for the Stone Axe is Stone Axe. Stone Axe. So the icon for the Stone Axe there. So save that. And then also I'll create another one, and that's gonna be Stone Knife. Make sure that that is a equipment. Item quality is great. I'll just comment for now. Item quality is item name Stone Knife. This description will be a trusty stone knife used to skin animals, cut down small foliage. I don't know what the second one was. Never go wrong with the Stone Axe. Stone Knife. So I'll just copy what John Luke has done. So the item for this is going to be the Stone Knife, and then the icon for that is going to be the Stone Knife. So one inventory stack size. I actually think the stack size for this should be like 20. You can make 20 knives, and the sell price is going to be sort of like 37. I don't know why, random. Stone 57. Just random numbers, it's fun. The equipment there is the Stone Knife. Stone Knife. I'll save that, and then just close that, and then I'm actually gonna just delete that now, and then I'm gonna change this to Stone Knife. Okay. Oh, why are you doing this to me? Collision override, overlap, block. Let's try that. Flip it now. Okay, collision. Could be because I haven't actually added collision to him yet. Just gonna fall through. Let me have a look. If I go into my tools here, what I'm actually gonna do is just change the collision. But now I'm just gonna give it a lazy collision. Double side geometry, collision presets, cool, project default, use complex as simple. See now the knife might not fall through. I don't know what happened there. I'll take it. Here we go. So I've got a stone knife. Nice. John Luke like that. Stone knife and axe have icons now, which is nice. Okay, let's see. Let me. I don't need that open now. Obviously, the axe will pull out. Oh, the knife pulls out too. The knife's just in the wrong position, but that's not too bad. So we've got the axe there. Suspended for policy, man.